Good evening, everybody. It is Friday night, my friends. So that means we're going to roll up our sleeves, reach into the bucket of code, and start speckling some walls here. I don't know where I was going with that analogy, but there you go. That's where we're at. Let's get some code up on the screen here. Oh, welcome everybody. I hope everyone's had a great week so far, and ready for the weekend. I am definitely ready for the weekend. I have been struggle busing at work with my work computer. It's been, I had to send one back because the hard drive decided to just fail, just fail. Then got a new one. Now I'm fighting the fight of getting everything installed back on there again, and they don't want to give you admin privileges to install things, and I need admin privileges to install things, and it's just back and forth, and just a constant pain in the tuchus. But that'll just be something I have to struggle with off camera. Right now, we get to do some just finishing up some code here. For Glimish, we had a bug that I've happened to run into as I was doing the tests for I reduced the, I did. It's like I didn't reduce the volume on that, but I did. We'd run across the bug just at random when I was writing the test for the raid stuff, and had to do with Twitter, and that's when I came to realize that the Twitter API was being called every time any settings page is being called, which we later discovered was a known issue for a while, and I just never realized it. So I've gone in and, as we did last weekend, went in and put the raid stuff on hold for a second, went in and tried to get this Twitter stuff worked out. I did off camera try to get a Twitter API key. Unfortunately, they have not gotten back to me, and given all the chaos of Twitter, that doesn't really surprise me all that much. So what happens is, and I've never seen any company do this when it comes to like API access and stuff. This is just very strange, but Twitter wants to know exactly why you want access to their API, which is just strange in and of itself. Because it's like, you guys are the ones publishing an API. Clearly you want people to use it. Why are you harassing them as to how they're using it? But that said, they ask you like several questions. You have to fill them out. I filled out the questions, gave them decent answers that weren't too long, but not too short either. And then once you do that, it puts a ticket out for you, and then it sent me an email with the ticket number, and it's like, someone will get back to you in 48 hours. Well, it's been a week, so no one has gotten back to me on that one. Hey, say Lord, welcome. So yeah, I do not have access to the Twitter API yet, and I'm guessing whoever is the one that's supposed to look at those submissions and give access probably doesn't work there anymore. I did see the article today that they shut off all their Slack channels, their access to Slack internally, and that's their primary communication platform internally in Twitter. So a lot of people have just kind of taken a long weekend because they're unable to communicate with the rest of their teams. So that's my lack of API access seems like a small potatoes compared to what's going on at Twitter HQ right now. Unfortunately, what that means though is I won't be able to fully test this change that I've made. But I'm still going to put it out there because it's still a change, and hopefully someone who has full access to the Twitter API can do the full positive workflow test. What I could do is a negative workflow test to say, like, if there's no auth URL, it'll just give an error. It'll keep you on the profile page and just say, there was a problem connecting with your Twitter account. I can test that much. I just can't test the actual redirect out to Twitter because it's not. I guess I could, if there was a way for me to dummy up this auth URL, then maybe I could do that. I guess technically I could probably. Is there a way to dummy that up? Because it's using the Twitter API. It's using the Twitter library x Twitter, which I guess is ironic given what's going on now. To then get the token, so it knows what URL it should put there. And if this fails, which it will in my case because we can't find it, it just brings nil back. I guess instead of bringing nil back, I could just have it. Well, see, there's no way I could do it without. I wonder if there's. I know that Phoenix has like not Phoenix. EXUnit. I'm pretty sure has a mocking capability, or there is some sort of library, mock library we can do. Because what would be ideal, and this is usually the case for any like external tests that you have to do, the tests that rely on external services, is there's a concept of a mock, which is to say, rather than your test case actually contacting the remote service, it'll contact a mock, and that mock will pretend that it went out to the service and actually just bring back whatever result you want it to bring back. So if you want it to bring back an error, it'll bring back an error. If you want it to bring back success, it'll bring back success. And then that way, if I mock it out, I could test it that way in isolation without needing API credentials. Which also would mean that anyone else running the tests would also not need API credentials, and the test would still be somewhat valid. I mean, there's schools of thought as to whether or not that test is a valid test or not. Given that, particularly in this case, most of the bulk of the business logic per se is being done by a library, right? Which has its own set of tests. So mocking it out is probably not a big deal because you're assuming that the library is going to work in real life. But it also means that you will never know if Twitter were to change something on its side and the version of the library you have doesn't recognize it, your test would not catch that. And so, but then again, you'd be broken in production anyway. So, one of those things, it's one of those half dozen of one, 2 dozen of another kind of thing. All that's great in theory. In practice, I don't know. I've never used any of the mocking tools, and I don't know if they have any on here. I've used mocks in Java, but I have not used them in the Elixir ecosystem. I'm pretty sure I saw some in I don't think I saw any tests with them, but I think I saw them in the dependent. Maybe. Where's our dependency thing? No, that's the no. Oh, here it is, Mick. Yeah. So this is all of our libraries and what version we're bringing down. So Baker is actually interesting. It's not a mock library, but it gives you fake data. So it's really cool, actually. It will, like, say you want to make fake users and you just want them to have, like, sort of, you want them to have random names, like first and last names, but you, it would be nice if they, instead of just throwing random letters at it, if it was like something that made some kind of sense. So you could have Faker like generate first and last names that are like, you know, chocolates or food or something else, you know, and it'll do that for you automatically and randomize them, and that's pretty good for when you need like just fake data to deal with that looks somewhat semi-legitimate and still exercises your inputs to make sure you're accepting, like, you know, regular strings and all that stuff. And so Ex Machina, is that, I don't know, that sounds like it would be one, but I don't know if it is or not. That's more test data. Test data. Machina. Test helper. What does this do? Email. I think this is just generating data in the database, random data in the database. Like, yes, that's what it seems like. All right, so not quite what I'm looking for. I don't know. I have to look at Greedo too. One of these, I imagine. I don't know. I don't think Greedo is the one, but that. Copy. Sure. Oh, it's an HTML parser. Okay, now run it. Greedo. Oh, it's code analysis. Oh, that's right. That's the code analysis thing. I was like, that seems familiar to me. We're working on today. More stuff for the cricket farm. Yeah, more stuff for the cricket farm. Yep. More stuff for the cricket farm. I'm just trying to finish up this one bug fix, and then I want to finish the testing. The automated testing for raids, and then I think I'm just going to stop there. I think I'm done at that point until changes happen. So yeah, I just want to get those. I just don't like leaving these things. There's a certain level of professionalism I like to maintain. It's not professional to just kind of drop everything and leave, you know what I mean? Yeah, more for the Blackfall. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I just out of, you know, professional courtesy, I just want to finish those two things. And obviously, you know, if anything, you know, I'll get email whenever anything happens with the pull requests. Well, whatever, most things happen with the pull requests. So, you know, if some pull requests go through, I'll make sure I'll be there to, you know, fix them and whatnot. I'll still be monitoring them. Just I won't be doing anything new until we see some changes. Because it's you know, I'm also kind of running out of things that I could do without having additional, you know, a lot of stuff that I want to do is building on stuff that already exists, you know. Maybe one day, well, yeah, maybe I mean, it's, you know, I try to stay optimistic as much as I can. It's very easy to just kind of get sucked into a pit of despair. You know what I mean? Um, I always like to keep a, you know, here maybe one day somewhere. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the way I like to keep the door open to be surprised. You know what I mean? Because people do have ways of surprising you sometimes, in good ways. So I always like to keep that open, whenever possible. Surface telemetry, SQL Omen, come on in, bodyguard, bamboo's email. That is the GraphQL stuff. Helpers. Uploads, yeah, waffles, uploads. Entry, Stripe. HTTP Poison is their HTTP connector. Concache we know is the caching, time zone data. I want to say Scrivener's the other cache. I feel like I've looked at this already for the viewer list thing, which unfortunately just won't get done. I think that's what it is. Oh no, that's pagination. Okay, never mind. I knew I saw it for something. So I did that for the statistics page, which is something else I have to test. Let me just see. Wait, is... Wait a minute. Mock modules for testing purposes. What does this come for? Wait a minute, what library is this a part of? Mocks? Designing concurrent mocks in Elixir. Okay. Oh. There we go. Mock. No ad hoc mocks. You can only create mocks based on behaviors. No dynamic generation of modules. Currency support. Pattern matching. Okay. I mean, this is definitely what I need. But... where does this exist? go. Max. Okay, currency to support. All right. You just have to add that. You automatically start unless the applications key is set inside. You need to remove the applications key in favor of extra applications or call ensure all started in your test helper. All right, find the contract diff module. Weather, okay. Weather behavior. Interesting. You have to actually do a module that just denotes the behavior. Find the mock. Test help. You have to define. Wait a second. You have to define the mocks ahead of time in your test helper before you start EX unit. Wow, that's hokey. But I guess that's the only way they could get around the limitations. Interesting. Wasn't there... I feel like there's a behavior thing already. Did I not? I guess I didn't see what I thought I saw. I thought we had one that was like... I wonder... Test. Looking at this is like anime trying to understand what right? Like, I think I know what's going on, but not entirely sure. That's right. No idea. No, I hear you. So why? Wait a minute. So, okay. First of all, let's go and get, switch over here, maybe. What is... okay. Chip Cell is usually pretty good. I don't know what this song is. Let's try it. Alright, a little more beeps and boops. Wait a second. Where's this at? Says it's supposed to be in... the old keygens, yeah. Yeah. They have quite a few of those sort of in the chiptune here. Section of Pretzel. The only problem is it'll start to repeat pretty, like, after about probably half an hour or so. big test. You have no configuration below. Test helper. What am I looking at here? Test helper. We have, okay, I'm sure all started there. Isn't there a mock in here? Let me just, I feel like I'm not the first one to. To think, hey, it'd be good if we had mocks there. Right, mock URL. How are they doing this? Mock mess. Oh, they just called the chat effects mock mess. They're not real mocks, they're just... They're just, they're fake mocks. Which sounds interesting and weird. Alright, well... Here's the real question is, do I want to go through that effort? Or I just want to say, screw it, someone else will have to test. Because we're talking about Twitter here, which didn't have any tests to begin with. Now I'm stuck trying to make a test for it. I am, coding-wise, I am fixing a... So my goal is to finish the testing, the automated tests for for raids, and then as I was going through and making the tests for raids, I found a random bug in the system where every settings page is calling the Twitter API. Obviously unnecessarily, and so I thought, well, this is something that's can cause a denial of service and stuff for everybody. It's a pretty big deal, so I decided I'd fix that, and then get back to the tests for raids. So I'm fixing that right now, and I've put the code in that I think will fix it. And now I'm just trying to write a test for that code to make sure that it's okay. And unfortunately, I didn't get Twitter did not get back to me as far as giving me API access. I'm not entirely surprised about, given the fires that are already burning in their headquarters. So I can't test the positive flow where, you know, you connect your account to Twitter and it actually goes out to Twitter and does its thing. But I can at least test the negative flow. I could potentially test the positive flow if I mock out the call so that it pretends to call Twitter but actually just brings back whatever I tell it to bring back. I was kind of looking at that, and we don't have the mock library. It doesn't look like set up or anything. It doesn't seem like it's a big deal to set it up. But obviously that's additional work on top of just fixing the bug. So that's kind of where I'm at there. My goal is really to, what's the worst I can do? Break it? Yeah, that's true. It's true. But as the there's a level of professional duty, right? Duty, and some of that professional professional duty is leave the code base better than you found it. And I'm compelled to do that just because, you know, that's the quality of the code is the reflection upon the coder, right? You know what I mean? If the code is pretty terrible and doesn't work, that's not a good look for me. You know, there's part of that, you know. The goal was to half-ass do it and then leave it broken. I mean, others have different strategies. Now I think it's generally speaking, speaking in the most general terms I can, most developers don't want to leave something in a bad state. They don't want to half-ass something. Unless it's something just absolutely annoying and terrible. You know, they don't want to half-ass it. They want something that works and doesn't bother them again later on in the future, you know? So, you know, that's where it is. But I think in my case here, the problem is if I bring down this mock library and stuff, I'm making the patch bigger, and I don't know. I guess it doesn't have any impact beyond the test that I'm using it in. And I guess I have to see, I just define the mock. So how do you define a mock here? You say, okay, here's the method I'm going to mock, and here's what parameters it takes. So I get that. And then you say, then you have your method, obviously. And then add a switch. You can pull from, you can have no config, down to weather input. Pull from your config. Oh, I see what they're saying. So I can have a configuration like this where I have the behavior. Wait a minute. How do they do this? Find module weather behavior. Oh, they define an impl for behavior? Well, no, okay, this is the, okay. Whatever, if they just put a behavior, weather behavior on it. Okay. This is that, and then this is just the interface for it, basically. And this is only if you don't want to do that config up top. Which this looks worse for the wear than just doing the stuff up top. Find the mock so it's used during test. Okay. Found weather. Okay. So weather behavior mock get weather. I'll go. Mocks is another one. Various unit testing using mocks, explicit behaviors, and contract tests. Okay. Okay. Callback get users. that. Unit test for it. A real instance of the database, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Def mock. Okay, I like this a little bit better. They're doing here. You're saying, because you're saying basically, define a mock for this database, and then expect it to bring back these values. So basically, you're pretending to hit the database for real, but really, you're always going to bring back these values, and then you can make sure that your business logic in the middle is doing what it's supposed to do to bring these values back. In theory, but although you would never really mock a database, that just is weird. Because that should be pretty much click through. But anyway, they did it as an example. Okay. Well, this function you use in place the original module function. What? Set up all. Wait a minute. So what is? What the hell is dialyzer? Is that another one? Wait, what? Oh, static analysis tool. What does that have to do with mocks? Well, I think I'm not going to go down that path. I think I'm just going to test the negative. How am I going to know it's always going to be negative? If somebody does have Twitter API access, it'll succeed. Guess the only thing I can do is test that it's either going to be a URL coming out the other side or it's going to be null. I have no way of knowing. Well, I guess I can look up the environment variable for Social's Twitter and see was that where would that be? In here. Bruna, Clemish. Yeah, here it is. I can look this up and see if these are empty, and if they are, then I know that it's going to fail. So I mean, I can test that redirects. I just can't test where it redirects to. something called The Goal Was False Hope and Dreams. That was a great. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. There's a lot of that going around just in the streaming space in general lately. Oh, man. Who was it that I just saw? There's like a live stream.tv now or something. It's coming out of the woodworks. There's just so much stuff. And then you've got the Wild West of Kick out there. Just, I don't know. A lot of people are getting their bag any way they can, I guess. I don't know if I should applaud them for taking advantage of the opportunity given to them or shun them. I have no idea. Yeah, YouNow is one. Joystick, I haven't heard of them. Did you just make that one up, or is that because I legitimately can't tell anymore. You could just throw names at me and be like, oh yeah, that sounds like one. Oh, it's legit? Okay. So there's one called Joystick now, really? Alright, I gotta look that up. Let me see. Oh, jeez. Okay. Earn money playing video games. Man, it sounds like just like one of those self-help things. You know, like 5 steps to financial stability. Another 20, yeah. When did this? Here's a tired of the censorship from existing platforms. Oh, that's just, I know exactly what's happening there already. I don't even have to look at it. I'm gonna look at it, but I don't have to look at it. More freedom, more fun. I need to understand. I don't know. Here's the thing, right? I get that censorship is a hot button topic at some level. I'm not sure that it's a hot button topic with gamers, game streamers. I mean, maybe it is. But I would think it's more of a hot button topic for your typical Kick streamer. Which is a bit harsh. But I like, you know, your hot tub streamer or something like that. Right? And I'm not saying that I'm not trying to be a fuddy-duddy or a, you know, prude or anything, but, you know, the gambling streams and stuff, there's people making a lot of money off of, I don't know, a lot of shady business practices. Art of rival chatter, yeah, exactly, yeah. And that's, I don't really get it, I guess. Because if you want to do any kind of advertising and stuff, you can bet your ass you're going to be censoring things. Because the advertisers are not going to pay for ad space if they're getting, you know, angry mobs with pitchforks coming after them, you know, because their ad showed up on a softcore porn thing. Or worse. So I don't know. It's weird to me. And also, it's like, well, you know, it's uncensored, and then I can see right here they got a DMCA link, right? So yeah, sure, we're uncensored unless someone sends us a DMCA, and then we're censoring that ever living Jesus out of it. Right? It's the two things are incompatible with one another. You know, just stop. You know, lying to people and just be like, look, we just want to try something different. Because when you do something like this, right, you're basically putting out a bad signal for all the conspiracy theorists and everything else and all that kind of riffraff. You're saying, hey, come over here and do this, and then regular, dare I say, well-adjusted people like myself are going to look at your platform and go, yeah, I don't really want to deal with all that crap. You know, they're going to just be like, yeah, I'm going to go somewhere else where, like, the atmosphere is not so dense, you know. We have our very own anarchist channel here on Glimish. Not sure you've seen. I think I know what you're talking about. I've seen there was an FM radio-ish station that I've seen a few things on. But here's the difference there, right? They're always going to latch on to anywhere they can. And there's a difference between saying, hey, everybody come over here who likes that kind of stuff, and yeah, it's a problem, and we're going to try to, we're not catering to them per se, you know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. There's a difference between catering to them and just having to, like, deal, I guess, right? Like it's always going to be a sort of a gray area and how you handle that stuff. And there's always going to be people who disagree with how you handle it or don't handle it. But you know, it's not part of the marketing, right? It's when it becomes part of the marketing, that's when I start to really roll my eyes and be like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do this. I mean, let's face it, there's plenty of that stuff on YouTube as well, and I've been on YouTube since 2013. But it's not part of the marketing of YouTube, right? So I can easily say, I am going to be the change that I want to see, kind of thing, and be like, I'm just not going to be one of them. I'm not going to be, an angry nerd constantly. I'm gonna make more upbeat videos today. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with any of that. And you can be that upbeat, person that you want to be. Whereas when you're on a site that's kind of pushing some of the other segments, it's a lot harder to kind of pull the other direction, I guess. I tried telling him to stop being a nerd. I don't think I could stop being a nerd. I think that's one of those things where it's just like it's kind of in your DNA, right? Like I don't know if it's possible. Like, I mean, I guess technically, I mean, isn't that like the plot of every '80s like movie and television show? It's like okay, we're gonna turn these nerds into jocks. we're gonna run you through this. You're gonna step into this chamber, and we're gonna run electricity through it, and you're suddenly gonna be a stud instead of a nerd. Yes, exactly, Stefan. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking from Urkel to Stefan Urkel. Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, that was actually 90s, so there you go. But yeah, it's like that was always the funny thing about it, right? That's why it was always in comedy, right? It's like you can't just stop being a nerd. It's just not possible. There is no I'm going to put this life behind me. this nerd life. Yeah. Anyway, but there's so many of these things like popping up now. So many streaming services popping up. And it's, Saved by the Bell. Yeah, I think there probably was. Yeah. It was a big theme for a while there. Yeah, I don't know. I stand by my statement that I think that there's a segment for a community-run, open source, open statistics, streaming company to come in and just kind of create a community. But it is very, very much an uphill struggle because there's so many, I mean, right now there's so many sites vying for people's attention because there's blood in the water, right? Twitch has hit that point where there's enough people upset with Twitch that they're legitimately trying other places to go. The discoverability has gotten so bad on Twitch that the smaller streamers in particular are trying to find places to go. We're just an open source project we could take all the time. Yeah. I mean, there's reality, and then there's, and then there's not, right? Like just because something's open source doesn't mean it can. And I imagine you're being facetious, but it's. Time is still a thing. I ain't getting any younger, and neither is anybody else. Right? So it's like sure, being open source gives you some latitude, but there's still a reality, right? And reality is there's plenty of people who want their coffee and they want it now while it's still hot. They don't want their coffee later when it's cold and terrible. They want it now while it's still hot, Yeah, progress still, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's not just it, and I guess that's the fallacy too. It's not just progress. It's not progress for progress sake. It's I really believe it comes down to communication and setting expectation. Letting people know, like, hey, I see your suggestions. I hear your suggestions. I'm doing what I can. I'm listening. Oh, by the way, life is being a biatch right now, and I can't do anything for the next week or two. But I intend on continuing to do things. I will have as much of a discussion as I can, despite being busy. Those kinds of things. That's a lot harder than it sounds. I made that sound really easy, but it's much more difficult than that. But even just having that open line of communication and having a progress is proof the project is not dead under active development. Yes, I also agree with that. I mean, I've always said, and I've said this to my boss, my day job and everything else, if your code base is growing moss, it's time to retire. Because the company's not going to be long for this world, right? Or it's time to get your resume together and get ready to jump ship. Because you should always there's always room for improvement. There's always room to make things better. And and there's always room for, even just like basic maintenance thing, nothing runs unattended, despite all the technological advances we've made, servers still need someone looking over them. They still need to be bounced from time to time and be cleaned, it's just the way it is. But it's also a matter of, again, there's so many sites now vying for people's attention that you kind of have to stay in people's mindset, right? Like, you have to be putting yourself out there constantly, even if it's just a stupid little thing from time to time. Like, what kind of, if your dog was a video game, what kind of video game would they be? Like, just dumb stuff, right? Like, it doesn't have to make any sense. It just has to keep you, it just has to be positive, and it has to keep you in the frontal cortex. You know what I mean? Like, check is, yeah. Right, exactly. Because it's just like, it just, it puts you out there so that when someone's on one of those other sites and they get frustrated, they think to themselves, hey, I just remembered seeing a post from that other place. Maybe I'll go just try them out. And they might not stick around. They might only try out for like a week and then say, not really my thing right now. But they might also try out for a week and be like, they're not quite there yet, but I'll keep an eye on them, And it's just a matter of just like staying fresh, staying, or at least staying in people's mind, and not just kind of silently lurking in the shadows. But the opposite of that, I think, is also very true, which is there are a large amount of like people who were burned by Mixer, and or by other sites that they've tried, and they're going to be very, 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 very picky and very cautious before they jump ship again. And some of them won't jump ship. Some of them are like, screw this, I'm sticking with Twitter or Twitch. They won't jump ship unless their whole ecosystem changes, right? Unless Twitch actually starts to falter, right? And some gave up altogether. They're just like, screw it, I'm out, right? Oh yeah, I definitely lots will stick with Twitch. Lots will stick with YouTube. I think a lot of people who are sticking with Twitch, if Twitch starts to really have competition to where it starts to really drop off, they'll probably switch to YouTube, I imagine. But is it though? I mean, Twitch was... You say Twitch is a sure thing for the guys burned by Mixer, but to me, Twitch was just... The choice that was given everybody who was on Mixer was go to Facebook, which was already on everybody's shit list, right, at that point, or go to Twitch, really. I mean, yes, YouTube was a thing, but it was not any... The features, the streaming features on YouTube at that point were nowhere near where they're at now. It was never really an option. Yeah. No, I had looked at it briefly and I was like, oh, I have to use my real name? Yeah, no thanks. And I mean, there was, there were other places, like, it pains me to talk about Caffeine TV because they started out with a very, like, good... That was another one that started out with, like, a very good push where they were gaming focused. Seems like everybody wants to start out gaming focused. They were gaming focused, but they actually went the next step and they had an app. They had a fat app that you would download, and it actually put the chat as an overlay in your game. So you could literally... So for the people who only have one monitor and have to either monitor the chat on their phone or something else, it was a godsend because you could play your game and you'd have the chat right on the screen overlaying your game. It wouldn't transmit the chat over the stream. Everybody else watching the stream would not see the chat, but you could see it as a streamer, right? So it overlaid it in such a way that only you as a streamer could see it. And that was a fantastic idea. And then they just stopped doing anything. They just kind of just stopped. They didn't give you you couldn't set like what game you were playing. You couldn't it took them years to finally have hashtags in the titles to even categorize your stream. And now they've pivoted towards lifestyle shit. I don't know. It's some kind of lifestyle crap. Where they just want to do they were already a niche and now they want to be a niche of a niche of a niche, which I mean, they're backed by VC funding, so to me that just sounds like they're just trying to stretch out that VC funding as long as they can and make it their retirement vehicle. That's about it. But lifestyle huts. You would think hot tub streamers would be lifestyle, but even they're not touching caffeine. By lifestyle, they're like, I think it's mostly like battle rap. I think is mostly what they're pushing. Like they still have some gamers. Like here's Swiss with the gamer, right? And they have some IRL stuff, some radio and things, and that's about it. Like look at this. This is the only people that are live, or at least the only people that are showing up as live. These are all partners because they got the blue C. Well, this guy's not. He's a gold thing. These blue ones are partners, right? They're being paid to just be live. These guys are like super partners. Like they have a contract with Caffeine. And these are just videos. These are pre-recorded videos. Or not pre-recorded. These are VODs, basically. And then they have upcoming schedule here and stuff. You can see where I got the idea for the hashtags on the homepage. And then more videos. Like for a site that's supposed to be a live streaming site, look at all the videos. More videos. More videos. More videos. Yes, 9 hours ago, yesterday, 4 days ago. Yeah, more videos. Oh, even more videos. Like they don't even know what the hell they want. The only place you can see live streams, right here, and just this top line. And most of them are the same people over and over and over again, right? Because they're partners and stuff. So it's just like, they don't even know what the hell they want as a site. All the videos makes the site look, yeah, exactly. You'd be forgiven for thinking like, oh man, look at all the stuff that's going on. And then you're like, oh wait, yesterday, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Oh, okay. And it's like, oh, here's some more live. Here's 2 more live streams. This person's not even partnered. And they've managed to make it to the homepage. This person has a gold caster status. All right. 135 people watching, 11 people watching. All right. More videos. 5 hours ago, 8 hours ago. Look at all the streams you missed. Here's all these other streams you missed like days ago. And then you get all the way down to, where was the schedule at? There was a schedule here somewhere. Here's gaming. Again, you already missed. Like, and what kills me about all these VODs too is, I know that, oh, here's the upcoming. Yeah, here's the schedule. And these are just for like people they partner with. So you got like, I don't know. I think this is just a talk show. I don't think it's what it sounds like. This one is snowboarding, I guess, which is pretty cool. URL is Ultimate Rap League. This, I have no idea. I think it's another talk show. More snowboarding. Podcast recap. Not even the real podcast. It's just a recap of a podcast. Some comedy. Okay. Podcasts. Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's basically what they got. They don't know what they want to be. And it's like, you would think that most people going to a live streaming site are going for the interaction, right? With the chat and stuff. And so pushing all these VODs up onto the homepage, what you're basically saying is, yes, we're a live streaming site, but no, we don't care about whether you interact with people that are streaming or not, right? Interaction, like, ooh, who needs that? Human interaction? Ugh. We're gonna D-Live and they show viewer counts as less than 5 viewers. Are they doing that now? Is that on their homepage? Because I actually hit their homepage a couple times. You got 7 there. 5. 5. Oh, I see. Less than 5. Yeah, so that must be something new that they're doing. Unless that was always that way. Because that was, because yeah, I managed to get onto their homepage a couple times too, automatically. Which should really tell you all you, oh, and I see over here less than 5 too. Yeah. Which automatically ought to tell you something. Like, if I manage to make it onto anyone's homepage, then there's some problems. I am not a good streamer. Show viewer count for categories, not the number of streamers. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, Twitch does the same thing, right? It shows a number. It shows the viewer count for the whole category, and then you have to dig into the category to see how many viewers are on each stream, right? So, I mean, I you know, it's an interesting idea, right? Because they're pushing that. They know that people want to see that viewer count, and rather than pushing against it and saying we're just not going to show viewer count, they're fudging it and saying, well, it's less than 5. It's somewhere between 1 and 99. It's less than 100. Which is, I think, is pretty funny too. I feel like if they really wanted to do that, they should have just said less than 25 or something. And just did it that way. And then nobody knows anything. Because less than 5 seems pretty doesn't seem very good either, optical wise, you know. Compromise for not showing it all. Yeah, but I get that, but I'm like, at that point you might as well just say less than 25 and call it a day, right? You know, and just say everybody's got less than 25 or somewhere here. Right? I mean, you might you'd be better off just not showing it, I feel like, at that point, because what that's saying to people is that you're acutely aware that there's not enough people viewing streams on your site, and so you're just gonna kind of budget a little bit, you know. And it also means that they're pushing viewers, which DLive is pushing that you have viewers, because they have the whole partnership thing, just like Twitch, where you have to have a certain number of concurrent viewers and stuff like that. So I can kind of see the thought process there, because they created their own monster at that point, where they based their partnership and stuff on those viewer counts. And when those viewer counts aren't getting anywhere where they need to be, they kind of have to do that. And I guess Trovo would probably be something very similar. Although I don't know if Trovo has enough people botting, I think, that they don't have to worry about those low view counts going on their homepage. I don't imagine. Let me see here. Oh, geez. Okay, that was a bad idea. Never mind. Nobody saw that. Jeez Louise. Okay, now I know what the Trovo 500 has done since I last left. Because last time I was on the Trovo homepage, it was Call of Duty Mobile, not what we just got there. That's fun. All right. Let's because it's a Trovo. Jeez Louise. What do we got here? I want to... Yeah, I guess... Um, no, I guess I could. Yeah, I guess I can look at it that way. Oh, you know what I can do? Okay, here's what I can do. I can. Yeah. Okay, here's what we can do. So in the test, I can call this authorize URL myself. If it fails, I'll get nil, which is fine. I'll know that if I get nil from it, that I should expect an error page. And if I don't get nil from it, then whatever comes back from this should be what we... Although I guess the only problem there is if it's... No, it'll probably give us the same URL back. I can just say, like, you know, this URL should be what is... should be matching what's on the button. Yeah. Okay. I think. So... Well, not on the button, because the button is going to the other thing, but it should be what we are trying to be redirected to. Maybe. Although I am concerned that it will give me a different token. I did... Here is the... Wait a minute. What happened to... Don't I have, didn't I have an additional method here? Am I going crazy? Did I... Wait a minute. Where's the... Wait, where's going on here? User social controller. Oh no, okay, I put it on here. Right, because this is where Twitter redirects to another thing. Okay. I was like, wait, what happened to the method I wrote? I knew there was one here somewhere. There it is. Okay. I could also... Is there... Use return. I wonder if I can return a... But can I return the auth URL from here while still having these redirects happen? I bet the redirects will happen before the auth URL actually comes back. Or I need these. Yeah, I have a feeling I need to do something. Yeah, I'll bet that that doesn't work if I try to do that. The only other thing to do is to have the auth URL come in as the parameters. That gets us back to call. I don't want to do that because then we'll end up calling the API every time we want to go write that. Every time we want to go put that button on the page. Which is not what I want to do. I guess. I guess I'll just have to, yeah, I guess the only thing I can do is test the negative and just say, if, like I'll call this, if that comes back nil, then call the Twitter Connect and make sure that it redirects, that stays on the profile page and gives this error. And I think that's all I can do is just test that. And then otherwise it'll redirect to the auth URL, which I suspect will work fine. Although I've never tried to redirect to something outside of here. Let me just make sure. Elixir or Phoenix redirect. Oh, use external option to redirect to any URL. Okay, well I'm glad I looked this up then. So it's not to, it's use external. Oh, glad I looked that up. That would not have worked. Okay. Alright, so you redirect. So to is always a local redirect on the same server, and external is to go somewhere else. Okay, I'm glad that this is here because then I know that that will work the way I want it to. That's my sort of confirmation that that will be correct. Okay, all right, that's good. That's good. I'm glad I double checked and looked up that documentation, because I can't, I'm in a position where I can't really test the external redirect properly. I wonder, maybe there is a generic way. If I do redirect it to, there's a location header from the given. I guess I could do that. I could assert that it redirected it to twitter.com. It would be just a partial, I guess I could. Do that. And just say, you know, it's a partial check. Okay, let's try that. Why not? So where are we at? User social controller. Does this not have a test for it? No, it doesn't. Okay. Where's our other controller test? Use settings controller test. That's good. I'll need this to be in the same spot. Let me. Let's get something else here. Getting on my nerves. Okay. So user settings controller test. So we'll just copy this. And rename this user social. User social controller test. Social controller test. Alright. And rid of everything that we need. Okay. Start with this. We want to do user social controller test. So I just want to test. I'm not going to test all of this. I'm just going to test the thing that I'm doing. And that will be that. So test get Twitter connect. And I think it's, where's the words? There we go. There we go. Oh, and they test, render redirects back to profile page if error. So we'll say user social path just on the profile. So it's live. Profile settings live here. It is social path this. Oh wait, that's disconnect. This one. Next. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, Twitter connects. Should get a 302 redirect. And actually it should be, response would be direct to, right, that, or redirected to, that would be routes, user, where's it here? Settings path. There. Redirected to, and I wonder if I can assert that there's an error. I could probably look at how do you do redirected to a response. To past error. I'm sure we do this somewhere else here. Response. Maybe I can do redirected to maybe without the assert. To maybe not. User not logged in. Redirect to routes. Where is Oh, assert get flash. Redirect it to and get the flash. Okay, here's how we do it. So do that for the error. Yeah, there'd be somewhere where we've done that. Search. Get flash. Error. And we'll say problem Twitter account. There we go. If that's an error. I'm gonna have to say redirect directly. Auth URL equal this. If not, if is nil, URL that's right. If is nil, auth URL do that. Else. Twitter connect, and then redirect it to say equals tilde Twitter.com. Hopefully that's a okay test. Get rid of this. Okay. Save that and try it out. So Flash TV mix test image web controllers. User alert. Why am I writing Twitter tests? Wait a minute. Hang on. Wait a minute. Authorize URL. Case clause matching Phoenix recycled plug session. It doesn't like that for connection. Our endpoints. $134, right? Yeah. These officials authorize URL. But it doesn't like that connection, the dummy connection I'm giving it. That's so I'm writing Twitter tests because I am fixing a bug where the Twitter API is being called on every settings page, regardless of whether it needs to be called or not. And so I moved it out of there and made it so that it's only called when someone hits the connect to Twitter button. So it's good practice to test that in some way. That's why I'm writing the test for it. As far as whether or not it's going to get ripped out when the API is no longer free, who knows? I just want to make sure that I've done my due diligence in testing it, right? Like, I can't make the decision. I don't feel comfortable making the decision to rip the Twitter API out entirely, because the entire site relies on it as far as like validating that someone is who they say they are. You know, verification kind of thing. That's a bigger fish to fry than just fixing what's there. So that's why I'm fixing what's there, so that at the very least, if the API goes down, as it will probably do when they make it pay for, people can still use the site. You know, we'll still be able to get to all the settings pages properly. You just won't be able to link up Twitter. Right now, if the API were to go no longer be free tomorrow, no one will be able to get to any settings page on Glimesh. Pretty much. Well, is that true? Maybe that's not entirely true. Because it'll throw errors. There'll be a match error that says nil. So you might still be able to get to the settings pages. Yeah, actually, yeah, you will be able to get to the settings pages because I don't have Twitter set up locally, and I can still get to the settings pages. It's just that it'll throw a lot of errors. So I guess it's not as big a deal to fix it. It's just you know, I happened to run across it while I was running the other tests and stuff. So I guess it's not all. Well, I guess ultimately it's not that big a deal for the users. I guess they'll be fine. Everything else will be fine. I don't know. I mean, I agree that this is more effort than probably should be put in, but at the same time, it's something that probably should be fixed one way or the other here. Let's go. I can't. I guess I can't call that with that connection. A real bummer. It's a real bummer. Because I guess because it's a dummy connection, it doesn't. It sees it for what it is. Wait a minute. Loomis Socials Twitter 34, right? It's actually failing right here, trying to get this. I wonder why that is. It's actually not failing in the library. It's failing in helpers. Helpers EX 12. I guess that's your social URL. Did I somehow break the normal Twitter URL? That's what I'm worried about here. Well, what I can do... I can run mix routes to see. Here, user. User social path. User social path Twitter. Okay. Oh, it's doing user social URL, but I guess path and URL are probably... Yeah, because the URL is just going to give it a URL. Instead of just a path, it'll give it a URL. So user social URL. Was it just not able to do... like URL in a test? What's the test? Where's the URL router helper's not working test? There we go. I try to test the function directly. Yeah, no case clause matching. Yeah. Okay. Path, everything works okay. It's not linked to any particular endpoint. You could have multiples of those in your project if you need to link that icon. An endpoint before you use it to test things. Okay, that's what I figured. Use contest bypass through. Make that stub connection a full one, with the side effect of it passing through the full pipeline stack, which might make the test require a significant amount more time. Oh, big deal. So he just pipes the connection through, bypass through. Okay. Nuclear endpoint. You handle it on your own. Okay. So I just have to do. I'm glad someone else had the same problem I had. That's a refreshing, a refreshing thing. So I got to do. Right. Here's a. I'm gonna say off URL equals con bypass through. Right. And I can just use the regular. Well, actually, I probably have to do the same thing. Yeah, I'll have to do the same thing for these because these are going to use the same thing. So what we do here is just con. Right, and then that. Hopefully the rest of it's still the same. Still giving me the same error. Did I do? The right thing here? Calls the endpoint and router pipelines. Useful for unit testing plugs where endpoint and a router pipeline plugs are required for proper setup. Following any examples would execute the plug pipeline, you must issue a request against the router. You can simply send a GET request against the root path, but you may also specify a different method or path operating against. Okay. Authentication plug. Endpoint plugs, router pipelines. Currently, you could only invoke the endpoint plugs. So I guess I have to say bypass through Blemish Web router, maybe. Try that. If that makes the difference. Still not happy. User recycled user token plug session. I feel like I'm missing something else here. Oh, then he's doing the URL helper. So, is my get not... I guess in order for it to work... Oh, I get it here. So for this top one, I have to do at least get slash. Right, okay. These other ones are doing get, so I imagine they're okay. But for this one, I wasn't. That's what they were saying. You need that in order to actually get the router to go. I wonder if I need this here or not. Well, let's try it with that there and see what happens. Okay, well, I got past that point. Expected connection to have redirected, but no response was set or sent. Set path. Well, I guess. What line was that? $19? No response. Hmm. Where's now redirected to? So, expected the connection to have redirected, but no response sent. It went through here and then it didn't actually redirect anywhere. What it sounds like. Although, let me try something here. Let me get rid of this like they had. Make sure that's not somehow causing anything. Okay. We're at the same spot, which is good. So no redirect is happening. Right. Label. I'm just curious what this is set to here. At the end of that, we've got West Path. Finish router. Okay, cookies halted. Host. Yeah. Session fetch right. Reparend. West Path. Response body is nil. Response headers. Cache control. That is nil. So yeah, so I expect the response body to be nil, but the response headers should be, or the response headers should be 302. Instead, the status is nil. It's 302. HTTP 302 is a redirect. So why is that not happening? Perhaps user social path. So let me just make sure I know where this is going here. Expect value. That you at every step here, what's going on? There's the connection. Not bring out the other. Did I save everything? Yeah, it's not. Oh, is it not getting to the connect? It should be getting here though. Doesn't look like it's actually getting in there though. The IO put this that. Yeah, it's definitely not, it's not actually getting in there. Like it's got the request path and stuff. It's not actually doing the requests. from what I can tell. The router has it as is a get. So I wonder, do I have to do a dummy get and then do the other get? I mean, I could try it. I don't think you would have to do that though. Because you would think it would just... I don't even think this is gonna... Well... I mean... Easy enough to try it. Oh. Okay, that actually did something. So it's saying that it's redirecting to the login page instead of the profile page. But I have a register and logged in user. I wonder if that is... I've got set up register and login user. Login user. Yeah, we definitely have a user because we have a user token and stuff that I saw when I was printing out the contents of memory. So or is that just a side effect of me doing this get here? Possible that's just a side effect of me doing that. Although, if I remove that, it says there's no redirect that happened. What if I just repeat this? No, it's definitely gotten me further, but it thinks the user's not a real user. Where does this go through? Windows Web Concase. It just goes through Windows Web Router. Let me just specify that just for sake of argument here. Yeah, it definitely thinks that the user's not logged in. Let me try something here. I guess that's the question. Should that be going through? Yeah, it should be going through. Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Get to the. I don't do. If I don't do the bypass through here, it's not going to work, right? Because it's got to eventually call authorize URL, like I did here, which is going to call that URL helper. I guess let me just see this. I don't think this is going to make a difference. No. This should fail. And it didn't. It succeeded. You're being redirected. Not loaded. Cookies, Limish key. Post path info. Router. There's the error. There was a problem connected to your Twitter account. And it's going to use your social controller. Request path, response headers, location, user settings, profile. Oh. 302 status. That's all correct. Okay. I am a bit confused. But I guess because I'm calling this directly rather than going through a get, that's why I needed to do this for that. Well, you know what? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, as they say. If it works, it works. If I fits, I sits. All those things. Alright, then I guess I don't need that down here either. Well, I have no way of really testing that portion of it. Right now. Yeah, yeah, okay. I mean, I think that seems like it is correct, at least from a test perspective. Okay. Fine. So that seems to redirect. At least when it has no authorized URL and stuff with an error. Which is what I want. And takes you back to the profile page. Also what I want. And I guess that's it. I mean, the only other thing is I've changed the button to always point to that route, so I don't really think I need a test for that. Because that's not really doing anything other than just directly taking you here. It's not calling authorized URL anymore. The only thing calling that now is this test. Yeah, the test and the social controller. So that's it. That is that. I think that covers it. I mean, the only other thing, I should probably actually run this server and see what it looks like. I can actually click on the button and have it fail with an error and make sure the error shows up and all that stuff. Alright. We'll go there. And we'll go settings. Connect Twitter account. There was a problem connecting your Twitter account. Well, twice. But that's a different bug that I am not going to bother fixing. There's a duplicate of the error thing here. I noted that from a while ago. All the profile pages, all the settings pages have like a duplicate thing where if you send like an error, it'll duplicate itself. because it's being included twice for no good reason. Whatever. I'm not going to worry about that right now. And interestingly enough, this one down here is dismissible. The one up top is not, because of how it's been pulled in. Oh, that's wrong. Profile. All right, so that's good. I mean, that is what I would expect it to be, as far as this button's concerned now, because literally all this button is now is just a pointer to that endpoint. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to test that because it's pretty much hard coded. Not hard coded, but it's straightforward. There's no business logic there. I guess we just run all the test suite again. Make sure nothing else pops up along the way. Then we'll run the code quality, and then I'll just put this out as a pull request. So that'll be that. And again, I guess, thinking about it now, my initial reaction was like, oh my god, when Twitter API goes away, this is going to cause us problems, but it's really not. It's because I'm not connected to the Twitter API locally, but I'm still able to get to all the settings pages without any problems. So really the only thing this is going to do is make it so that we only make that one API call when we absolutely need to, and which should theoretically, I guess, maybe speed up the settings pages loading a little bit. I don't know that it'll be enough that anyone will notice it. Be enough to be noticeable, but less API calls is better. I'm frankly surprised. I guess we don't have enough users that we've caused problems for it, but Twitter's always been pretty, ornery about its API, where it's like, if you go over your API limit, they get really strict with cutting people off, So I'm kind of surprised that we weren't. I'm not surprised that we weren't cut off. But I'm surprised that we didn't, suffer some sort of outage at some point for it. All right, so 10 failures. It's likely all Stripe. So let's just make sure. Stripe. Stripe error. Okay, good. That's good. So mixed code quality. Alias user social controller is not alphabetically ordered among this group. Okay. Router 290. Also unused, apparently. So why don't we just get rid of it? Right, no issues there. Let me just make sure. We run the test again just to make sure there's no issues with tests. Now I remove that route or remove that alias. Wait a minute, there was a error here, but I think this is I think that's just a random error. Let's try the test again. Okay. It's looking better. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Yeah, how we doing here? Wow, it's a lot later than I thought. Jeez Louise. I didn't know it was that late yet. Alright. I figured this might take a little time just to wrap this up. But the nice thing about this is we can get back to tomorrow, we can get back to finishing up the tests for rating. Hopefully finishing up all the tests that are left for rating. I think we're close. And then we can get that out there. Get 10 failures. Stripe. Right. Right. Yep, that's it. Okay, good. Here we go. Get status. So 1, 2, 3, 4 files it looks like. Did I not commit last time? Wonder. Well, say moved Twitter API call to endpoint so we don't call it on every settings page load. Okay, yeah, I must have pushed it once before here. Okay, let me make sure. I want to merge these down into one, or squash these down into one commit. Yeah, okay, so 9 change files, so we did... Right, so I got rid of it from the GCT controller. This doesn't need to be passed along anymore. This doesn't need to be passed along anymore. I added the Twitter Connect endpoints. remove the auth URL from the page because it doesn't need to be there anymore. Now just a static URL. I changed the classes a little bit because we don't need to disable the button anymore. Because, well, we can't disable it anymore because we don't know. And I don't want to make a call to it either, so it's always going to be enabled. It'll just cause an error if you can't do it. Added the route for the new endpoint. Change this so that we don't pass the Twitter auth URL around anymore. Same here. And then that's the test we just wrote. So good. All right, that's what I expect. Let me do a git rebase interactive with dev, and we'll do a fix up here. We'll just forget about that commit message, and it'll be everything will just go down to the one commit, and then I can force push that. If my password's still in buffer, it is. Cool. So then if I do a compare here, I should just see one. Yep, I see one commit now. 9 change files. Everything's the same. It's just all squashed down to one commit, so it's easier to merge it around. So that's good. One thing we're gonna have to do though, we do have to sync up because we're one commit behind Blemish dev. So let's sync our fork here. And I will do git checkout dev, git pull those changes down, checkout fix Twitter, necessary calls, git rebase it with the new dev. And I push force. Yep. So now we should be rebased with the dev, the Glimish main repositories dev branch. And all our changes are still here, so that means they'll be able to be eligible to be automatically merged without any problems, hopefully. Cool. All right. So I guess we just do our pull request then. So I want to say, where is the issues, and then Twitter. Don't call the Twitter API until the user requests it. 634 is the number. So we'll say fixes 634. Yep. Only call Twitter API when necessary. Currently we are calling the Twitter API on each settings page load. Unnecessarily. I've removed the calls to the API and consolidated it to a new endpoint on the user social controller, and that is that. Do this. The endpoint, the new endpoint will do the Twitter authorization URL lookup, and if successful, do the redirect to Twitter that the connect with Twitter button on the user profile page would have done. If we are not successful in contacting Twitter API, the endpoint will redirect the user back to the user profile page with an error. Probably grab that. Not running the server though. Let's run the server again. Where am I at here? Okay. Screenshot here. So, and that's here. Note, I am awaiting access from Twitter to their API. So I am unable to test. I am only able to test the error path and not the full path at this time. API settings remove the calls API and consolidate to an endpoint user controller. Yeah. Endpoint will do Twitter authorization URL lookup is successful. Do the redirect to Twitter. Connect Twitter button on the user profile. Not successful. But redirect user back to the user profile page with an error message. No other changes to the Twitter flow. There should be no other changes to the Twitter flow as a result of this change. Okay, and yeah, that's about it. I don't think I have to go too much deeper than that. Be fairly obvious what I'm doing. Sure. Sure, we'll roll with that and see what happens. So I'm gonna call Twitter API when necessary. Fix this 34. And I think that is everything there. So let's just do pull requests. Alright, and that's kicked off the checks, so that's good. Okay. That about covers everything for today, friends. The server here. Yeah, I think that about covers everything for today. Tomorrow we can get back to doing the work of doing the tests for raids. Actually, let me do git status. Check out feature rating. Branches ahead of origin feature rating by one commit. Oh, I have a commit I didn't push yet. Let me do that. Git push. Yeah. Finish. Out there, status. All right, because I want to do git. I want to get this down to one commit again because we have that change on dev there. So rebase I dev. Yeah. Okay. So fixed up. Up all those. push force. And push that there. Alright. So we're rebased with the new dev rating, and it's squashed down to just one commit. So that'll be good. Where am I at here? Where's my repositories? Alright. If I do compare, yeah, we got the one commit there. We got 42 files changed, going all the way down. And there's going to be even more because we got more tests to do and stuff. And I think I was in the middle of the tests when I was doing that. When I got when I pulled myself over to the other bug thing. So, all right, so we're good there. Close that out. Close this out. And I'll have to, well, I'll shut down the database in a bit because I need to do something with my, I need to put the new key in for my, for my, oh, excuse me. Oh man. For my database query tool. Oh, okay. All right, very good then. Yeah, it's getting late, so let's pack this in then for tonight, my friends. And I will be back tomorrow afternoon for some more coding. Well, like I said, we'll get back to rating and try to finish up the rest of the tests. Maybe, possibly, maybe I can get through the rest of them. And get the pull request out for that, and then that'll do it. So we'll hopefully see how far we get, and maybe we'll get to that point. We'll see, but that is the schedule as I know it right now, my friends. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching and hanging out and keeping me company and all those things. Give me topics to talk about, all kinds of stuff. I hope everyone has an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on what it is for you. And I hope to see you back here again in the future for some more stuff, whatever happens to suit your fancy. Until then, see you, bye.